morning, viewers. Welcome to Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from Machakos County today, this morning. Viewers, we are in Machakos County in our mobile unit. We shall be broadcasting from county to county with effect from Monday. And on Monday, we shall be in Mombasa to discuss the legacy trend of His Excellency, President Uhuru Kenyatta. As you are aware, the legacy trend is owned by us, our corporate. We are the owners of that legacy trend. We have been doing it for the last 4 years. We are on the last lap of our legacy, and therefore we welcome everybody to join us. Today, we want to do what we call tactical voting, political tactical voting. We are now tactically in Machakos County, where we want to see some of the things, our pointers, at the end of all this tour. And I think at the end of the tour, you can see today we are dressed up in the attire of the legacy trend of His Excellency, the President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I thank you very much. Good morning. In the studio is none in Nairobi, none than other than the only one, Miriam Ogutu. Good morning, Miriam Ogutu, our senior anchor, senior presenter, senior editor. Good morning in the studios of Punchline Africa TV. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good morning to you, Doctor, and good morning to our viewers from around the world.
Thank you very much. This morning we have had a prayer. We were delaying because the prayer was going on. His Excellency has been at the Safari Park. Miriam, did you get any news? And before I do that, I want to introduce my co-reporter, a reporter who will be doing quite a lot of surveys across the counties, and she will be at times be on her own. Today I am giving her cover. None other than Gladwell Cherago. Greet the masses.
A very good morning to Dr. David Matsanga. Good morning to Miriam in our headquarters. Good morning to our viewers, depending on where you are tuned and watching us from.
I don't know whether you are hearing us properly.
Yes. Gladwell, you might want to, I know I usually have the same problem when I sit near Doc, because you know it's very vocal, so you'll have to be a bit loud.
Okay.
Yes.
I think she'll do it louder next time. But for now, let's keep it going. Let's go. Miriam put us through the stories of Africa, and that's Kenyan news headlines. Let's go through and give us a glimpse of what the president was saying at Safari Park. We left when the priests were talking about reconciliation. I had my bishop of the Anglican Church, Olosapiti, talking about, we are sitting in the same vicinity. Why can't he go and vote directly for Ruto? We know where he belongs. So I had those type of things. Yes, the bishops preach unity, but they are the same bishops, Miriam, who have been going around collecting, like Oginde, collecting money from Rutos of, whatever they get it. So what type of, they have now spoiled the country. They have gone and collected the money. Now they have come back to say, reconcile. Where were they when the people were doing corruption? Where were they when they were getting money in the churches? Where were they? Over to you.
Okay.
Just the microphone again about the bishops.
I'm not sure, because Bishop Oginde is my bishop. Every now and then I go to see him, and I'm a Baptist. I don't know about that.
No, I didn't say him in particular, but
I know him to be a very principled person, so I don't know. But anyway, yes, they reiterated, and I think every speaker that spoke this morning, they underscored the importance of peace and uniting this country, and perhaps a reminder to our leaders and our political class that even as they go out there and campaign and seek for votes, they must use words that will unite Kenyans, words that will not incite, words that will not make Kenyans start being hateful towards each other. So they have to be careful, because at the end of the day, this political season will pass. We'll vote, for our next president. but we still have a country to take care of. We still have other things to do. So this is just something that we have to do as a country because of our democracy, but that should not mean that this is the time now we destroy, our country, because we still have to live in this country even after those elections, and we still have to do other things even after electing our leader. So it's very important for them to be careful. And I think that was the main message from every speaker that spoke this morning. And I was especially, I loved what Martha Karua said. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to her. The Deputy President, William Ruto, had the honor of inviting her before he invited the president. And Martha Karua, I love her because she does not pretend. She's just Martha Karua. What you see is what you get. And she said, even with all these nice things you're saying here, when we go out there, could you leave them? Sell your agenda. Stop using insults. Stop inciting Kenyans. So I think it was very important, and hopefully they will leave. They leave that breakfast meeting with a renewed sense of patriotism. That at the end of the day, they are bigger. The country is bigger than the ambitions of becoming our leaders.
Yeah, that's very true, Miriam. And I always say, with these politicians, they tend to behave very funny, because when they were and everybody was given a chance to speak, everybody spoke well, and everybody was so positive about the things. But what happens when they walk out of that gate? They turn out to be so different people. Immediately they're out there, they turn to be insulting people, insulting others, intimidating Kenyans, and most of the brainwash that is also happening around. So I think it's high time as them as leaders, what they say, can they act? So it's good what you say, you live according to it, and you act according to it. So I support Mother Karua whatever she said. Yes, Miriam.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, thank you very much, Miriam. Now take us through the newspapers this morning. Mother Karua does not shoot outside the goal. She shoots direct inside the goal post. And I think she was telling them, even Ruto, you have been saying very good words here, but now that's exactly what you are going to do. The opposite in Machakos. The governor of Machakos here, we have been talking to a few people around Machakos County, and we know what is going on here. Surely, I don't think he went there for money. By the way, the register of political parties have refused them. They can go, but you cannot put a candidate who will use the logo of Chap Chap. Have you seen where the complication is coming from? Mm-hmm. Have you seen where, for example, where Mr. Kalonzo can stand as a president, but now you can't use the party wiper. You have to use Azimio.
And in Azimio, we can't have two presidential candidates. So
no, I am saying that's why it's complicated.
Yes. Okay.
My first statement was complicated.
Yes, very.
None of them can run out of Azimio. Mm-hmm. You can't now go and use wiper, yet your wiper is in Azimio.
Yes, Doctor.
You can't use Pierre. Is it Pierre? The one that the course is called PAR. You can't use it. You have to be in Azimio flag. So some people are finding it, that's why Miriam, as you open the paper, Ruto yesterday was campaigning directly for Aisha Juma. You saw?
Yes.
He said it. He told Aisha Juma, this is the woman who has struggled for you for all this time. He did not mention that party of Kingi. So you can see, because the King party is tied, he has already seen the problem. They moved there themselves as individuals, but not as parties. They haven't left Azimio. Thank you very much. Back to you, Miriam, in the studio.
All right, let me just get this out of the way so that we can start a proper conversation over some of these stories making headlines this morning. We start with the Daily Nation, the main headline: uproar over CJ's Paul's gag order. The bone of contention upon commencement of the hearing of the petition by the court litigants, the advocates and advocates' agents shall refrain from expressing their opinion on merit, demerit, or predict the outcome of the petition in any manner that will prejudice or impede court proceedings until judgment is delivered. So that is what Chief Justice Martha Koome said the other day in a Gazette notice. And then this is what LSK President Eric Theuri said. We are writing a letter to the Chief Justice and asking her to recall the amendment with immediate effect to allow for public participation. Should have presented the rules to LSK and other stakeholders to look at them, make comments before they were gazetted. So that's another legal protest there. Kibaki's funeral cost 260 million Kenya shillings, and a notebook, Big Three clear IEBC signature hurdle. Deputy President William Ruto of Kenya Kwanza, Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga, and their Wiper counterpart Kalonzo Musyoka were yesterday among at least 16 aspirants who met the deadline by the Independent Electorals and Boundaries Commission to submit their supporters' endorsement signatures. The clearance is set for between May 29th and June 6th. The last hurdle before the aspirants are placed on the ballot paper are then declared candidates. So they submitted, but the IEBC has to go through and see if they meet the checklist. And I think we'll have that conversation in a short bit. Okay, so we turn our attention to the Standard newspaper. The main headline, Ruto's radical land plan jolts Raila's camp. DP William Ruto has unveiled his grand plan to buy off large swaths of land and idle parcels for the benefit of the landless. If he is elected president in August, the DP pledges to bring back 1963 1 million acre scheme in a move that is sure to draw reactions from across the country. The story is on page 6 and 7. Kalonzo keeps presidential hopes alive. That is on page 4. And Uhuru gets 4 billion Kenya shillings more funding as CS Yatani breaks law. Okay, we shall look at that. And then the Star newspaper. Campaign cash fight disrupts Kenya Kwanza. Some affiliates protest they are being mistreated by the big boys in Kenya Kwanza Alliance. The story is on page 6. Ex-Attorney General Kidhu in 100 million Kenya shillings property row with the bank. That is on page 11. And fuel subsidy tops Treasury. 64 billion Kenya shillings extra budget appeal to MPs. That is on page 8. And Pomp Kala as Kiss TV is relaunched again. That is on page 10. And of course, Raila Ruto in a do or die battle for Western. That is on page 4 and 5. So that is the latest. That is what we have on the headlines. I don't know if you have the papers from across the continent. You could perhaps update us on that.
I have, but I'm not yet in the position now to read because I'm. Let me see the papers across the continent. Yes, you sent them to me. Yeah. Here you are. No, I don't have.
Okay, I think I have them here. If you can't find them, I can just go through them quickly so that we...
Yeah, go through them. I will click the headlines. Medium from your side.
So, thank you. A new vision from Uganda. Government tightens loan terms for civil servants. That is what we have. The Daily Monitor from Uganda. Hospital quizzed over mom's missing kidney. Okay, now that's scary, but that is the Daily Monitor. The Guardian from the UK. Drinking, fights, vomiting, all in a day's work, says Prime Minister. And the Daily Telegraph still from the UK, Sunak to extend energy bill relief. And the Daily News from Zimbabwe, we are not at war, comrades. That is what BIM has said as jostling for ZANU PF positions escalate. And the Newsday, I think still from Zimbabwe, panic as fuel shortage looms. And Mwananchi from, that should be in Tanzania, Kigogo CCM, kitanzini kwa madai ya rushwa. Yeah. The Citizen also from Tanzania, what new pension arrangement means, and The Nation from Nigeria, outgoing governors men pick PDP tickets in states, and The Punch also from Nigeria, shock as Peter Obi dumps PDP, protest government primaries. Apparently the primaries were not fair. They were marred with irregularities there. So a top contender there has stepped down. So that is what we have in some of the papers from across Africa, and of course a few from the UK.
Yeah, thank you very much, Miriam. Let me pick on the paper from Uganda, the hospitalized quiz of mom's missing kidney. Oh my God, are they stealing the kidneys again? It is very sad for my
What do you mean
country.
again? Was there a scandal of the same?
Yes, yes, there have been very many scandals of people killing people for kidneys in Uganda
Okay.
before. Yes, it was a very big. First, they used to kill people for sacrifice, take out the special organs in the body. Kidneys were on top, and now this one has come again as a shocker. I don't know. The government should move in quickly to make sure that this does not happen. It escalates. Kidneys somewhere in India are bought at a very high price, and it has happened before in Uganda, Miriam. The other news is drinking, fights, vomiting, all in a day's work, says the Prime Minister. So I don't know what it means of the British Prime Minister. Is there any story else that you have picked from there?
I think I'm still stunned by the by the kidney story. This lady had given birth through the traditional midwives, and she developed complications. She was taken to the hospital for a proper operation, and then later on she realized one of her kidneys was missing.
Yeah, but William,
I would be
these things are
scared.
happening in this country.
Yes.
They happen in all countries of Africa.
Yes.
And believe me or
Harvesting
not,
of organs.
people are stealing organs, and the organs are sold, paid for in a huge amounts of money. So it is not a very good exercise at all. It is a very sad day for my country for people to start stealing people. So are you safe with are women safe in hospitals that it goes to? Yes.
Miriam, I remember a while back was in Kenya, there was such a story. And I remember somebody saying the way the stage whereby women go to labor and most of they end up doing CS. I remember there was a case whereby somebody says, can you be careful how CS is done? And that's when they say that when you're going in for CS, can you make sure that there's somebody else in there with you? Because I can't quite remember the hospital whereby when they did conduct a CS on somebody, there was organ harvesting too, and most of the kidney. Kidney also in Kenya is very demanding, and you can see people saying that in Kenya, you can sell your kidney at 2 million because the economy is hard. You've seen those memes. People are saying that I'll sell my kidney at 2 million, and people are doing it actually. So it's not something new in Africa also.
But
It's happening.
yeah, and I agree with you. But on the mothers who go to deliver through CS, I think right now the current way they do it is they don't put you to sleep fully. So they only from your somewhere up here waist down. It's the place where they put anesthesia, but you are fully awake and you can hear what is happening. But for the kidney, I think for them to harvest that, they must put you completely to sleep for them to get that out, because that can't just be done the same way the CS is done. So maybe they should adopt that, where it's only your half of your body, but the rest of you is alert.
Miriam, what I know, when you are put into have anesthesia, it also depends with your body. Not everybody is done so. At the same time, with organ harvesting, I'm made to understand that when somebody needs a kidney, there's something that I don't know. I can't quite remember the test, but you can tell that this and this person they match the kidney. So that is when the organ harvest now really starts. I don't know. And again, mostly in I can't quite clear remember the country, but that is what they do. If your organ matches with somebody else, then you are even killed for the person to have the kidney. So kidneys are very important. It is also an important organ that is sold out, and another one is also the liver. So this is something which is not very new to us.
Okay, yes, and scary at the same time. Okay. All right. I think the more we talk about it, the more freaked out
Miriam,
I
it is not
become.
scary. It is not scary. For me,
Yes.
I want to tell you the truth of what happened. When Remember, sometime in January, February, my voice was not clear, and I had a lot of difficulties because of the voice. We talk every day. We talk for hours. So I went to one of the TNT. They called them TNT.
ENT.
Yes. After that, they gave me a medicine called Nexium to swallow in the morning. I said, okay, fine. I tried. Then the second time, I saw the voice going back again. And then they told me, right from the lady told me, the doctor said, now there is something they want to drop in my stomach to see where the problem is. And they say, what makes you lose your voice? And then they told me it will take about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, but you have got to go to die a bit, then come back. What is that process called? And something, I don't want to, William. Yes, that you have to die a bit. So, anesthesia, yes. They told me I should die a bit, then come back. I said, Allah, to die first, then come back. Who is going to be here? My next of kin is my wife, and she's not around. She's not in the country, Kenya. I told the doctor, give me the documents, I'm gone. When I go to London, I want her to stand at the bed. At that bed, while you take this anesthesia thing here, kill me, then come back. Because by the time I come back, the kidney will be gone, something will be gone. You never know. A woman said, no, you see, it is not, it's a simple exercise. I said, the very fact you have told me you are going to make me go away for some time to see the maker, then return. Because that time you are saying God anyway. It's God who brings you back. Because God can decide again not for you to come back. There are people who have gone in that theater and the medium, they have never returned. So it is also something that we should consider. Then later on, do you know what was killing my voice? Was the same drug they were giving me to take, Nexium, every day. One morning, I decided to forget about it. 1 week, my voice is back, and today I'm still here talking now. So these are some of the hazards of our hospitals, and I think as we go to the legacy trend, we shall see how far. We have gone with hospitals in Kenya. We are in Machakos. Thank you very much, Miriam. Back to you in the studios.
Okay, very well. So now let's just get into a bit of some politics, because we can't avoid that. Is what is making headlines this morning, and then we will get to our main topic of today, and we shall be keeping up to date with President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and how far is he, even as he remains just about 75 days or so before he retires. Big three clear IEBC signatures hurdle. Deputy President William Ruto of Kenya Kwanza, Azimio la Umoja leader Raila Odinga, and their Wiper counterpart Kalonzo Musyoka were among the 16 aspirants who were cleared yesterday and who met the deadline by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission to submit their supporters' endorsement signatures. The clearance is set for between May 29th and June 6th, the last hurdle before the aspirants are placed on the ballot paper and then declared candidates. The story is on page 15, so let's just get a bit of some details of that. And the move by Mr. Musyoka to submit a list of supporters means the Odinga-led Azimio has only one chance within which to win him back and hammer a deal before the last day of submission of nomination papers on June 6th. Mr. Musyoka was Mr. Odinga's running mate in 2013 and 2017 elections and voted out of Azimio in protest against the naming of Kenya boss Martha Karua as Mr. Odinga's August poll running mate. I don't know, maybe I start with Gladwell. Were you shocked to see Wiper, because it was Wiper party that presented Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential, the nominations and whatever it is, the signatures and whatever it is that was required to meet the deadline yesterday. Were you surprised?
Miriam, with the way Kalonzo, the Wiper Party, and also Kalonzo is doing their things, I currently expect anything from Kalonzo Musyoka. Anything now he does, it's not a surprise to us Kenyans. It won't be a surprise to us Kenyans. And as we know, he's also on his way back to Azimio. And I mean, Miriam, what Kalonzo is currently doing, it's the game always talk here each and every day, the game of cat and mouse. And he actually is not going any down to it. He's still playing it harder. And actually has also turned out to be the Tom, Dick, and Harry. So can he stop it? And if he wishes to go ahead with whatever he wants, let him go ahead. I'm not surprised.
Okay. Were you surprised to see that?
Miriam, I am one of the few people who has. I think he's doing a bargain up to the last moment, but I've already told people, and I've said it. I've written 2 good letters. Those letters woke him up to go to London and go follow whatever. I understand there was a meeting in London. They must have met, and they must have come to a conclusion. But the East or West may be as it is, with the daggers drawn and the parallels well drawn. I don't think Kalonzo Musyoka now can go anywhere near a corrupt system. That is one thing for sure that Stephen will do. But the other thing that worries me most, which is worrying me most, is he's spoiling it. He's destroying our time, and that attention is being given to him. Why are we wasting time? And wasting time, and even the little resources that we have, we want to pump in such a meeting, even one meeting, even if you hold it with Musyoka. Why can't we do a strategy like what people are saying down here in Machakos at the moment, do a strategy of dividing the Wiper Party? There are MPs there who don't want to be associated with such hostage.
45 out of the 50 aspirants who
so
met.
If Kalonzo thinks he's clever, he might not give the vote.
But though,
he has already given the certificate to these MPs. He's not going to withdraw them. You know that. You know that. So the MPs can even rebel on him and go and get the vote and leave Kalonzo in permanent place where we don't want to see him. So we are that's why we are also looking for ways of the Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta my president, are not operating like a political tactical officers. This guy cannot put us on one-way traffic. Let's also go down and dismember. And I'm saying it openly here so that they can hear. There are people there in the Machakos who will agree with us. How many MPs has he got in Machakos? Being held hostage by Kalonzo. Let's go and dismember these MPs, meet them one by one. They also need they have homes. They have homes and the children and the wife nyumbani tumkatakate. Certificates are medium certificates are already in the custody of IEBC.
Yes, he has already issued. But also, I don't know if his nomination will go through, because there are still some legal hurdles. One, you remember they started with the issue of, they did not read the coalition agreement, and so they don't know what they signed for, and so they were to go to court. So they've not really gone to court yet. So that's just one. Meaning they've not started their process of leaving first Azimio. And because they're still in Azimio, Azimio cannot have 2 flag bearers. As far as the parties are concerned, Wiper is in Azimio, and they've not left yet. So I don't think they're,
They have not even written a letter to.
They have not. So this is a joke.
So Kalonzo is coming back. Is going to be with Raila.
And what is the circus? What is the circus?
The circus is he wants to be, you have, if you have more, I have children. I have 80 children. Among these 8, there is always one who takes me for a ride. Always, oh, why were you looking at so and so nicely and you're not looking at me? They are there. I don't want to mention her name because she's watching now on there. They are watching. Why? I saw when we are in that when we were in the restaurant in McDonald's eating, Dad, you allowed them to have more soda than myself. So Kalonzo is like that. Why is Raila being treated nice and I'm not being treated nice? Children are like that. There are children in this area who are behaving that way. And one of them is Kalonzo is behaving the way that I am not very, very happy with. Let's just go to the ground. Let's make sure that some of the 45 MPs, about 30 of them, side with Raila and the vote is counted. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Gladwell, I don't know if you have something to add to that before we move on to another matter.
Miriam, what I think Kalonzo won't be seen, or as Doc said, yes, is this kind of a person who's very nagging, and it has actually reached to a point where it's now pissing. It's not present any longer. It's actually what he's just doing. He's just giving people headache on his case. And what I would say, can Raila move forward? You can't, when the river wants to flow, it flows continuously. There's no way you can put a log in between and say that, no, I want to trap the water. No, the water still has to go on. Hata kama ni ile kidogo lazima tu itapita. So what I'm trying to say is, can these people move forward? If Kalonzo wants to catch up, he will. If he actually wants to ride in the same boat, he will. So the ship can't capsize because Kalonzo is missing. No, can they continue? Can they carry on ahead?
All right. Okay. All right. So let's just leave that there. But I'm sure this is a developing story, so we shall keep talking about it as long as it keeps giving. Okay. So uproar over CJ's Paul gag order. Lawyers condemn Chief Justice Martha Kome's decision to gag advocates and litigants from making comments on any presidential election petition while it is being heard, with the Law Society of Kenya describing the decision as drastic, unjustifiable and ambiguous. The lawyers' lobby has threatened to sue the CJ if she fails to rescind the plan to criminalize comments.
You go, they go at it first.
Miriam,
let me, Miriam, I talked about 2 things. Legally idle and legally silent. The Chief Justice is reading the silent. I have the powers as the head of the Supreme Court, and I have been given mandate by my 7 judges. There's nowhere you are going to go in that to the magistrate's court. It is the powers that she was given by the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, that if you have been called, you're a thief, you remain a thief until you clear your name. Therefore, you cannot remain a thief halfway. Go and get more. My example yesterday. That example was very clear yesterday. That you can't kill people at the roundabout, Uhuru Stadium, Nyayo Stadium, Mbakasi. You go no killing and they give you more a ticket to go kill. Go kill. Go kill. No. Because you have not exhausted the channel. Therefore, you go back to the office. Then, Miriam, let me ask a question. Why is it that when magistrates are sentencing people and are giving them, they are trying to get them bail, people ask and say, don't step back. Even in developed democracies, when you have got a domestic quarrel with your wife, you are told not to go near that house for 500 kilometers, meters away from the house. If you want to get a toothbrush, you call your child to bring the toothbrush for you, Miriam. That is it. So she is practicing a silent legal entity that is under Article 73. Integrity, personal integrity. Do you have it? Do you have it? Why? First, why were you picked? Why did the DCI come to you and not come to Miriam?
But Doc, this is a separate matter. I think you're confusing that with the Sonko matter. The CJ gave a gag that if a presidential petition has been filed, then nobody should talk about it.
Okay, fine. All right. Let me now come to that one. I'm sorry. I did not hear the question. Why do you talk about, it creates, the side which is going to start talking about it. That we have been, the BBI was a very good example. Before it could come out, Ruto had known the results. Ahmed Nasir had already written under the Chief Justice warned Ahmed Nasir. She fell short of taking him to contempt of court to send her to jail. So these are some of the things that why the petition, once the presidential petition is there, all of us will actually go to holiday. Even journalists, we are going to be.
We are having a bit of a connection problem, Doc, from where you are. Maybe someone should help you check that out. We apologize for that. We have a bit of a technical hitch from where Doc is placed this morning. So we're not able to get his communication clearly, but they're sorting that out. So once that has been sorted, then we shall have Dr. Matsanga and Gladwell. Okay. Doc, we lost you there for a good amount of time. Your connection is extremely poor, but I'm sure help is coming your way. So once that has been sorted, we'll have you back. I'll have both of you. Today it's both of you, so when it's bad, it's just bad. But I think now you're back. At least the other time when Gladwell is on the other side, she's good backup, but yes. So maybe just on that story, the new rule, this is according to the new LSK president, Eric Theory. The new rule, he said, is against freedom of expression as enshrined in the Constitution, adding that the decision of a court cannot be influenced by conversations or comments made by advocates. And LSK said it disagrees with the position of the CJ. The amendment, though intended to protect the integrity of the proceedings before the Supreme Court, is something that cannot be supported in a democratic society that cherishes the constitutional rights and the freedom of expression, the LSK president said. And Mr. Theory added that public or social media comments should never influence a judge in coming up with a verdict. I think on this one and how our democracy is, and of course the freedoms that we enjoy in this country, I don't think I support this gazettement by the Chief Justice. I don't know how you expect for Kenyans to wait 14 days, not say anything, not hear anything after they've voted, and you think they'll just be quiet and just happy and not nervous and all that. I think for a healthy democracy, we must be allowed to have these conversations, because as this LSK president is saying, whatever the lawyers are commenting, whatever the analysts are saying, that should not influence the outcome, because judges, we shall be looking at this case on a merit base. They shall be looking at the facts and what has been presented, and we believe our judges are professionals who know what they're doing and who understand the law. So despite of what everybody else is saying out there, that should not change what they believe to be right, decision that they will be making in that judgment. So gagging people to not talk about it, I don't think that will augur well with our democratic space in this country. So I personally don't support that. Doc, or Gladwell?
First of all, Miriam, about the case, you are not. Are you hearing us?
Yes, now we can
Are you
get
hearing?
Yes.
Yes. What do you really want to talk about? You are not a judge. You are not even a lawyer. You are just an activist creating chaos on the streets and bringing apprehension, the sense of apprehension on the ICC. Sorry, on the presidential petition can create a country to go to chaos. The Chief Justice on this one, she's happy, she's right. Wait, you are not the judge. You know, when you go to a statement where you find Grand Mula had wrote and even told us how the judgment was going to come out. Surely that there must be some sense of decorum. They went to the extent of even telling people that the judges have been bribed, that have been paid money. I don't know. You people can agree or disagree, but for me, I support Justice Kome, Chief Justice Kome's position. After the petitions have been put in, let the nation, for the sake of peace, the candidates might take a retreat, because the results that are going to come, on the from there could be you are going to go back for a rerun. Take some time to Seychelles and enjoy Seychelles. Come back fresh, then you might campaign. Or you are going to come back to be thrown in.
In this country? You go to Seychelles
yes.
while we're waiting for a verdict?
I am talking the truth about the Chief Justice. She's right.
And I do understand.
Why should you write about the Chief Judges that because the petition is there? And the people who are going to make noise are UDA people of Kwanza, Kenya Kwanza. Ruto is going to bring hornbills on this whole thing. Oh, the vote is being stolen. The vote is being done what? Create problems for this country. Chief Justice Kome, tighten the belt there.
First of all, we can't assume it is Ruto who's going to take the petition to the Supreme Court.
No.
We have not voted yet. I don't know. Gladwell is really smiling there, and I think she's burning to say something. Gladwell, yes.
To be honest, this is Kenya. There's no way you expect that after elections
to be quiet.
It can never happen. It
Please.
can never become.
Well, for me, I am against.
Can you imagine, Gladwell?
No,
14 days.
We are in Machakos County right now. We've seen how the views of the people are. But let's be honest, Miriam. This is our mobile. This is, if you have just joined in, this is Punchline Africa Television on mobile unit outside the broadcasting unit. We are in Machakos broadcasting live and getting opinion tactically. We want to campaign and we want to see the tactical things, what is happening. Mutua tells us Machakos is delivering 90% to Ruto. So we are doing we are gauging and finding out what exactly is taking place. But then, what that the President Uhuru Kenyatta has done in Machakos and the following counties, we shall be coming to you one by one in each county. Keep quiet, let the verdict come out.
We will not keep quiet, Doc. You already know that. We have to talk because that is the kind of dynamic democracy that we have. 14 days to just keep still and wait for the verdict. What country is that?
Yeah, but why? No, why do you want to shout? You are not even a lawyer.
We're not shouting. We're not shouting, but we allow for public participation.
Some of these guys who go to social media, they have never left their villages. Yeah, Miriam, at least for you, you have left your village and gone somewhere.
I was never even raised in the village, but that's
yes,
okay.
Some of these boys, some of these boys who are writing on this social media in villages, in Turkana, in houses. They sit there and write. Then you write about the court. Oh, the petition, Ruto won, but he was stolen. You create a problem for the state.
So what should
Yes.
happen? Let me just read part of what Theory said, and maybe we see if he's making sense at all. He said, the manner in which they have drafted that amendment is problematic because they're speaking of a comment that can be deemed to influence the administration of justice, which is a very wide latitude. As it is, someone cannot know exactly what constitutes the offense. So what they're saying is perhaps the CJ could be a bit specific. And there are already laws. There are already laws that even guides us as journalists when a case is in court. You know, under media and ethics, we were taught there are certain ways in which you cannot speak about a case that is ongoing, you know, in the courts. Otherwise, you'll be held for contempt, you know, of the court. So there are already laws that govern that. But my problem is, and perhaps what I need to understand is, I believe our judges are professionals. Our judges are professionals and our judges know what they're doing. I really want to believe that. So despite what Miriam here will be saying about what she thinks is going on there, my idea and my opinion should not matter to them because they're looking at the facts and they're looking at, and they know what they're doing, and they will be giving their judgment out of the merit of what has been presented to them, not what I am saying, not what another blogger is saying, not what that somebody who has not left their village doc is saying, but they are professionals and they're doing their work. So they have been trained to close their ears from any noise from outside and just give their judgment from what they've seen to be right and according to the facts that have been presented to them. So the rest of us can talk, as long as you're not breaking the law, as long as you're not inciting, as long as it's not hateful, as long as we're not going against the Constitution. We're talking in the confines of the Constitution and in respect of the court itself, which I think we do have already laws that govern that.
I think my colleague here my colleague can take some. You say something about it.
Miriam, you know, we all know Kenyans for sure. And yes, I believe also our judges are well armed and are well learned. But at the same time, you can't just stand up and say, now can you Kenyans keep quiet and you're not supposed to talk? No, that can never happen. Actually, let's give an example currently. We are almost heading to the election, but what is happening? Each and every day, it's all about politics. So what do you think, or what do you expect after voting? You just can't tell people that they just go. I mean, and now you go lock yourselves into in your houses, and you wait for the election without talking. It can never happen. It can't happen. Again, even with the presidential aspirants, we all be eager to hear what about the outcomes. This is Kenya, and Kenya, some things can never happen in our country. Some things can never happen. For example, you can't silence somebody, not unless you kill the person to shut up. It's only the dead who can speak. Otherwise, as long as you are alive, people will still continue talking, whether positive, whether negative. Kenyans can't keep quiet, most where politics are involved.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I disagree with you today, all of you, that in 2007, people started talking about elections before
we apologize. We're having that technical hitch again, but yeah.
The last ballot was cast. You saw that there were accusations and accusations. Yeah, there were counter accusations upon counter accusations. Counter accusations against counter accusations in the court that Maraga is doing this, including myself.
Is it 2007 or 2017, right?
No, the 2017.
Okay.
After the nullification of the first election.
Yes.
I also took part in condemning Maraga.
But that did not stop Maraga.
I must admit now that I can see why Chief Justice Kome is saying, and you have seen the bishops this morning in the Safari Park. They were preaching the same message that Matanga has been saying. Let's heal. Let's heal. Healing. We have not healed. You have seen the president and the deputy president sitting a distance away from each other. We have not healed. And these people, when you come out to speak about these things, they think you are what? They call you all the names. You can call me all the names, but you will never reach my status. That's the problem. I'm sorry. I'm already past 67 years. What will you do? You can't touch me in front of 67. Call me the names. But the truth is that everything is here. If we don't reconcile here now, we can cry more later. What do you think?
I think with what Doc is saying, what I think now, I want to bring in with what Mother Karua has said now. If we don't reconcile, and what the bishops that was preaching, they've said, if we don't reconcile now, and despite the political differences between Uhuru and Ruto, at the end of it all, it is still that Uhuru is the president and Ruto is the deputy president. So at the end of it all, still not unless after election, otherwise, but still, they're still in the same government, despite that Ruto is still, what Ruto is still doing is going against the same government that he's in.
By the way, just for your information, he did ask for forgiveness this morning. The deputy president, he said, "I know, I've said things, I've done ways, and I've offended my boss, and I apologized." I'm not sure if Uhuru received that apology.
Did you see? Miriam, hold on. Did you see the boss about that?
I need to look for that clip. I don't know if
the boss. When he said, "I ask for forgiveness," did you see the boss about that?
You don't think he meant it?
Yes. He didn't bother. How can you have spoiled us? You have destroyed the legacy. You have stolen all the money. You have taken. Zakayo stole the money and returned the money. When he returned the half, God saw the money behind. Miriam, we have gone. You remember, as he returned, the boss. Has he returned the money? Has he returned the money he has stolen? Now he has no money. Did you know that? He has no money. Reliable sources from the house. Hakuna pesa. People are coming at the door. They are being told to go out. Over to you.
Miriam, when he said that he apologized, I'm sorry to say so, but well, maybe he meant it and maybe he was genuine. But with the political looks, the way Deputy President has been doing things, you can't actually believe it is true or not. For instance, let's go back when the president was angry and said, "Where were you when I needed you the most?" Immediately after a while, but the Deputy President responded. And when he responded, it looked like he did. The kind of response he made looked like he was actually, he was also bitter with it. The response was, sarcastic. So despite him apologizing this morning, well, we accept the apology, but can he live according to the apology from today henceforth? As he go out there, can he change then his ways of doing politics? As we see, most of the people in his campaign team are the one who actually making him look bad. Let's call a spade, Miriam. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. And hey,
for example, yesterday, Miriam, I think you saw the video of Malala. Our policemen are very special unit in this country. There's no way you can say that the work of a policeman is just to hold a gun. And the next person who's guarding you there for the mob not to ambush you or stone thrown at you are the same policemen. He said that these policemen are not going to school. So you see, Malala is in the UDA team, the Kenya Kwanza. The other time it was Kimani Ichung'wah. He said that the express highway, the underpass was meant for the dirty hustlers, but the top part, the upper part was meant for the dynasties. It's your choice. Whether you have the money, you can use the underpass, or if you don't have, you can. It's your choice. Kenya is a free choice. You choose what to do. You choose the way you want to take, as long as it will lead you to a destination. So also the people in the Kenya Kwanza, you're not doing the deputy president any good. Also, So can you also check the people who are also with him around?
For those who are watching me, thank you very much. For those who are watching us on my platform, we are live on Punchline Africa TV from Machakos County, where we are broadcasting live. You can watch us. We are going to interview very many people in Machakos County to find out what exactly they are doing. This is my personal account, but you can watch Punchline Africa TV so that you can see for yourself the type of arrangement, the type of television that we have, which is better than Ruto. Ruto begs people to have to be on TV. At least I have mine, and it is working, and it has a mobile unit. You can see everywhere where we are seated. He can buy, he can't buy, he can buy, he can't buy. Which license? Who will give him a license?
And
He's
by the way,
waiting for.
yes, Senator Malala has since apologized the remarks that he made, and he said he has withdrawn his remarks and apologized to the police officers, but that does not negate what he said. I think sometimes, fine, you can apologize, but the damage has already been made, and that's why every now and then our leaders, especially when they're speaking in these public forums, they must be very careful and weigh what they're saying and think before speaking, because I think a lot of times they're overcome with the whatever the cheering and all that, and the rallies and all that, so they're carried away, so they lose some sense in the process. So I think it's important, even as they campaign, because you'll see a lot of this nonsense going on across the country, which is very dangerous. That is not how you speak about somebody who is even there protecting you while you're talking, and they're there offering you security. And so as much as he has apologized, but the damage has been caused. And even as you take your remarks back, I think it's unfortunate that he had to say that, and a lot of other utterances that we've seen some of the leaders and the political class say. So they must be, it is time they carried their common sense with them when they're out there speaking to public, so that everything you say, you have to know that it matters and people are listening and it is being amplified. And so just saying it and then later on taking it back, no, you will not take it back. It's already out there. So you have to be careful when you speak.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Being careful when you speak is very important. And we are live on Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting from Machakos City, where we are right now. And we are doing a survey on all the counties across Kenya. We shall be in your county, we shall notify you. But back to the studio and to the point. If you want to watch us, you are on my own platform, you can come and watch us on Punchline Africa TV. We are there live in Machakos, interviewing people, making sure that we know exactly what is going on. As an intelligence session, we want to inform people, the whole world, what is going on about these elections. We are allowed to do so, and you have no right to tell us not to do anything that is within the law. Medium, we have one down. We have disagreed.
Yes, and within the law, yes, and we didn't finish that matter that we disagreed upon.
I
think as long as we're not intimidating the court, we're not scandalizing the judges, and you're not disrespecting them in a manner that, might jeopardize their integrity, I think we should be allowed to speak. And should this really not be challenged and remain the same, I think they'll have a lot of people to take to jail, because that will not stop Kenyans from talking, about the elections and about the petition. It has to be done within the law. As long as you're not attacking the court officers, the judges, as long as you're not intimidating the court, and you're not scandalizing them.
Miriam, can I ask one question? Among these Kenyans who are on Facebook writing all the time, how many of them know what a legal silent approach is in the Constitution? Very few. They have, especially people from UDA, they howl insults. Ruto's people just howl insults. They don't reason. You see, the Ruto's group just said, we shall deport you. We shall uproot you from Rift Valley. You know, they are doing that. They are used to uprooting people. So they just come and pop. How many of them? So the Chief Justice is correct on this one. The Chief Justice says once the petition is condemned by Supreme Court, and by the way, Miriam, you have forgotten, she's the final. What are you going to do? The only thing you can do is to impeach her and tell the reason by her stopping the country from going to chaos. What has she done wrong? She's final. You have forgotten it is not Justice Morima. It is not Justice Mumbi. She's the Chief Justice, the head of the judiciary.
She can still be challenged, Doc. Her word is not the Constitution.
Where? You will take her to the lower judges.
The case is already in the High Court. She's not above the law. Just so you know, she can be challenged. She's not above the law.
She has not committed any criminal offense.
Yeah.
If she has committed a criminal offense, you can. But if she's doing an administrative duties as the chief justice,
it can still be challenged, Doc.
Okay, let's see. It will come to the same thing.
Yes, freedom of speech.
Why is there a law that you don't speak about what is in court?
Freedom.
Why haven't you challenged? No, why haven't you challenged that?
It is in the Constitution. As long as you're not in contempt, as long as you're not scandalizing, you're not attacking the judges, that is wrong. As long as you're not attacking the court itself, that is wrong. But as if you're talking about the case and the precepts of the law, then you're not committing a crime. But if you are attacking the character of the judges who are listening to this case, and you're attacking them in that manner, and you're scandalizing them, and your character assassinating them, then that is a problem. That should not happen, and that already is in the law. But we should be allowed to talk about these things within the law. All right? We should be allowed to do that without violating the same laws. So anybody who violates that, now that person should be dealt with. But if you're talking about this, still respecting the court and respecting the process and not interfering with the integrity of that process, we should be allowed to talk about it. And we will.
Very true, Miriam. Yes, we will. But now, also at a point, the problem is with Kenyans. The choice of words and the choice of words that Kenyans, tend to use to express something is very wanting. For a Kenyan to express something, or maybe the anger, or maybe an opinion, he or she has to add an insult either in the reply or in the comment. So it also depends. I wish they also give this rule whereby you speak, but when your courts intimidating or maybe inciting, then they can take up. Then legal action can be taken upon you. But there's no way you can tell Kenyans that after election you have to keep quiet and nobody should be heard talking about the election. Then they should have put that law before the election. Currently speaking, because everybody, every time as we wake up, we sleep during the meet, everything now is all about politics. It's about the Kenya Kwanza, it's all about the Azimio. So some of these rules that they tend to put, they should have done them actually long ago. I think they could have even eased the situation currently, because nowadays it's about who is insulting others, more so where politics is actually involved.
And I think as a country, we've come so far with our democratic space. It will be very hard to reel us back, in certain ways. I think where we've come, I don't know, but let's just wait and see. A case has been launched at the High Court and see how this will pan out. But hey, as President Uhuru Kenyatta will say, we are a country that respects the Constitution. So if that stays, then I guess that stays.
A country, Miriam, thank you, a country that respects the Constitution.
Yes, we do. But
a country at the same time, Cliff Mboya, I am in Machakos watching live Cliff Mboya. You can see the guys from this Kenya Kusha. They are here. They are on my platform. But let's look back, come back. This is Punchline Africa Television. We want now to exhibit the legacy trend, what President Uhuru Kenyatta has done, If Miriam has exhausted in the studios everything that he needs in the papers, we want to talk about the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta. That is the only subject we are doing today. And today we are looking at the what President Uhuru Kenyatta has achieved in infrastructure, in food. We shall begin with infrastructure first today. Then every time, every minute, we shall be looking at all the food when we go from county to county. And Cliff Mboya, I told you to give me your shirts. You didn't give me your t-shirts, but here are my t-shirts, Mr. Cliff Mboya. And my good friend, thank you very much. Across, if you want to watch us live, go to Punchline Africa TV. Every time you'll get the truth, but nothing but truth, which the main television stations don't talk about. Miriam, bring us to date with our projects in Machakos and up country and the infrastructure. Back to say something for you. My colleague here can say something about the infrastructure of President Uhuru Kenyatta before Miriam arranges to bring us, to cue us in.
Actually, I would begin with the question whereby I would love Miriam and Doc you answer. I was saying that, and this involves the Mount Kenya region. And then I asked the same person. So that means when you vote Ruto, you're going to punish Uhuru. So can you tell me, Miriam, how do you think Uhuru will get punished here when you vote Ruto?
Is it to me or Miriam? I think Miriam can begin first.
I did not hear her. The connection there had a bit of a hitch, so I did not get exactly. Yes.
She's saying, people in Mount Kenya, some of them are saying, when you vote Ruto, you punish Uhuru. How are you punishing Uhuru? Is that it?
Yes.
So? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. When you vote Ruto, yeah, how?
Yeah, I don't know, because first of all, Uhuru is retiring, so I don't know how that is supposed to
how somebody is going
him.
to punish Uhuru. Somebody who is in Kericho, who has not even left his father's crowd area for grazing, or and he's talking about insulting people. This is the problem. Let's get the votes. You punish Uhuru how? If you vote Ruto, will steal your money. That's all I can answer you. You are not punishing Uhuru. You are punishing yourself. Because the money is going to be stolen. Martha Karua said, and she is dead. Today she tested you at Safari Park. If she becomes the vice president of deputy president of Republic of Kenya, just build another committee. There will be very many of them in the committee. Thank you very much, Miriam. Let's bring let's bring all our.
I think you'd asked me a question, but I didn't get an opportunity to respond to that. So maybe a bit before the question that Gladwell had posed about some of the people who are saying they'll vote for the deputy president to punish the president. And first of all, the president is retiring, so I don't know how that is supposed to affect him. But the thing is, that is what is wrong with not just that section of people who think like that, but a lot of voters in this country. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we don't interrogate who we are voting for based on the agenda they are selling to us, based on how good the manifesto is compared to the other side, based on their characters, based on judging them from how they've worked for us before, based on their history, based on so many other factors that countries out there, when they're voting and they're choosing the leaders, they look at. And that's where we are stuck today. And once we vote this person because we don't want that person for very flimsy and useless reasons, and then later on we realize we're out here making the loudest noise. Well, we are the ones who voted for these people in the first place. So we have to change how we look at and the the yardstick we use as far as choosing our leaders is concerned. So if you're going to vote for somebody else because you hate that other person, not because their agenda is what you support, not because they speak what you want them to speak as far as, responding to what you want responded to as a Kenyan is concerned, that I think that is a very sad state of affairs, and that is the crisis we find, a leadership crisis we find ourselves in, because now we have these senators that shouldn't be even in that Senate. We have these governors who shouldn't be leading these counties. We have these members of parliament who should not be serving us because we voted for them, not based on merit, but based on a very interesting way and perspective we used to choose our leaders. And then we're out here complaining because they can't even articulate what we need them to articulate in Parliament. We didn't care that they could not articulate that in the first place. We didn't care that they did not have an agenda for us in the first place. But we voted for them just because I don't like that other person. Oh, I'll vote for this person to make that other person lose, and not based on actually on a transformational agenda. So I think it is very sad and very unfortunate. Unfortunately, majority of the electorate in this country, that is how Kenyans vote, not based on agenda and issues.
Thank you very much, Miriam.
Okay.
I just want to tell you that yesterday, I was on another television station yesterday, and I said, if I go to power in Africa at all, I would not even talk about elections. Because elections in Africa create us more problems than solve our problems. People in Africa, when it is time for elections, you can now see how many people.
And now that's when you find people like Kunjuri now telling us that vote whoever you want for presidency and elect leaders, not parties, because their personal interests have not been served, not the people that he wants to represent. That's the problem. That's the problem.
That is where we are. That is why she brought in her question to say, vote. If you vote for Ruto, you are voting to punish Uhuru. Uhuru has served his term, is going home. The legacy trend is here. We have written 3 books so far, and we shall present him the books. And that is what we have been doing. I've been sitting down writing all the books. They will be read worldwide in every, bookshop. There will be a book, and my name and my pictures will be there that you will see. So prepare to buy it, to know about the legacy. It's not bothered. Why do you punish him?
Miriam, there's a point I want to pick that you mentioned, and I thought it should also be a topic. You said that people tend to vote parties, not individuals. And I think this is one mistake that we make as Kenyans. For instance, the first time when Uhuru came into power in 2017, I remember there was a slogan back then, also in Kiambu, Juja, that's whereby we are voting for Suti. The people are voting the party, not the individual. And this is the same thing that is still happening now. People are voting for the party and not the individual. And this is why we see that corruption in Kenya will never come to an end. Because you find that in a particular place, they're all going to vote for UDA, or maybe they're all going to vote for Azimio. But you find that in that...
I know. It's okay. Go ahead.
But then you find that maybe in that region, there's somebody who is an independent candidate who actually has got better manifesto and ready to work for the people, but because he or she doesn't have a party, won't be given won't be voted by the people, won't be supported by the people. Yet you find that because the slogan currently, everybody is saying that I'm in Azimio, I'm in UDA, we are going to vote for everybody who is in the party. I think we also need to change that. Let's not just vote for the party, but at some point, can we just look at individuals? I think this one can apply better. because I know there's some good leaders who have been left out because they're not in a particular party. For instance, let me talk about Juja, where I come from. Juja mentioning Azimio is a no-go zone. That's something you can't do. You can't stand in Juja and say that I'm in Azimio. It can't happen because they believe that UDA is the party that is ruling in Juja. But now, as they're going to vote, we're going to see that they're going to vote the people who are in the UDA that have not had them for the past 5 years, but they want to bring them back because they're in that party. And they have left some people, maybe in other parties or maybe independent candidates, who could actually bring them better manifesto or work for them better. But because they are not in the UDA or maybe the new party, they won't get the position to do it. So I think we also need to weigh those options too as we go to vote.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So now let's just get into the legacy. Let's just get into the legacy and see what has been happening. We haven't touched on some of the things that have been ongoing that President Uhuru Kenyatta and his government have been really trying to work on, even as he nears the end of his presidency. So I'll just bring us just a couple of, of things and initiatives and developmental projects that have been ongoing that I have with me here. And phase 2 of the 32 billion Kenya shillings second container terminal at the port of Mombasa is complete and set for commissioning next month. Construction of the terminal, which started in September 2018, is expected to increase the port's annual capacity by 450,000 containers, bringing the total annual capacity to 2.1 million containers. Kenya Ports Authority confirmed that the Japanese contractor Tokyo Construction Company Limited has completed the project, which has been described by maritime stakeholders as a game changer. And of course, a statement from the KPA said the handing over ceremony will be done soon after the authority and relevant government agencies inspect the facility located on 100 acres at Kilindini Harbour. And then the next thing is that 1,700 interns have been mentored under the Presidential Digital Talent Program. Another batch of 400 of Kahoot of 6 is expected to graduate later this year. ICT Acting Chief Executive Officer Dr. Kiprono Rono said at the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development in Nairobi, through the program, we are developing a pool of ICT talent in Kenya to prepare the country for the future by getting a highly skilled market-ready workforce, especially in the ICT sector. I therefore congratulate all digital talent interns for their diligence and continued progress in various sectors. So this is a presidential digital talent that was started, and it has been absorbing a lot of young people and training them for free to equip them with this. Okay. All right.
I'm back, Miriam. I was disrupted by some telephone calls because some people have seen my good pictures.
Okay. All right. So the government will launch a 23 billion Kenya shillings National Agriculture Value Chain Development Fund in July, designed to improve production of cash crops such as potatoes, pyrethrum, coffee, and cotton. The Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya said the rolling out the project will be easy because the money is already available. So the 23 billion project to revive production of cotton to be launched. And we know that was a very lucrative industry a couple of years ago that now is it will be a good thing if launched. And the last one is the government of the United Kingdom and Kenya have unveiled the final design of Nairobi's new Central Railway Station, a project aimed to ensure that Nairobi City serves its inhabitants in an effective and efficient manner. The new design, completed by Atkins UK, has been handed over to Kenya Railways and the Ministry of Transport and is part of the wider Nairobi Railway City Redevelopment Program, which is championed by President Uhuru Kenyatta with support from the UK government. The new design was unveiled by the UK Prime Minister's G7 and G20 Sherpa, Mr. Jonathan Black, and the Principal Secretary for Transport, Dr. Engineer Joseph Njoroge, speaking during the launch handing over event at Nairobi Hotel. Mr. Black said great cities have always been engines of growth and innovation. So there is a new design for new central railway station, and hopefully that will change public transport, especially across the city. All right. I see you by yourself, Gladwell, but go ahead. I don't know if you any of the things that I have read in line with what the government has been up to as far as President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy is concerned. Would you like to comment in any of those projects? Especially the 1,700 interns that have received training under Presidential Digital Talent Program that really targets young people and equipping them with these skills and knowledge.
Very true, Miriam. And I'm actually happy that today we chose to be looking at President Uhuru's legacy, because I think it's high time now people need to actually also appreciate, because Miriam, if we don't be careful, with the person we are going to choose, or maybe the leaders we'll be having in the next government, we will live to say that Uhuru was much better. The same way we say that the late Mwai Kibaki was better, the same thing we'll also live to say. And Miriam, most of the youths, they have been saying that there is no employment, or maybe you need to have a connection in Kenya for you to get employed. But we can see that there are some people who are actually getting internship. And I'm happy because that's a good progress, and I hope that the youth grab the opportunity. Sometimes I said that these opportunities only comes once in a lifetime. Miriam, I think nobody wouldn't like to get some opportunities. I mean, because we know with the current economy we are having in our country, and most of the state we are in, employment is becoming an issue, Miriam. And the survey I've been doing, Miriam, you just go outside there's so many people with degrees, others with masters, but they are actually tarmacking to get a job. So I actually applaud what the government is doing, more so under Uhuru's legacy. Let nobody lie that is no, this is Uhuru's legacy. We live to remember that Uhuru did this, implemented this. Another thing I want to look at is the infrastructure. Miriam, I want also to talk about the express highway. Miriam, this is a topic that is becoming hotter each and every day. At a point, you're finding that the upper part is very clear, where the down part is actually Meshikana. The traffic the traffic is crazy. No, I mean, okay, I won't say maybe I don't know how your pocket is, but at the same time, Miriam, Kenyans, can you reason? You're caught up in traffic. Miriam, with those with vehicles, when you're caught up in traffic, gari uendelea kukunywa mafuta. That's very true. Yet you could pay the money, and actually you have a 5-minute drive to wherever you're going. Simple mathematics sometimes it's also needed. You need to actually calculate how much the time you're going to waste. But with Kenyans, time doesn't matter. Miriam, somebody told me that only the dynasties who know what time matters is, and that's why Kenyan actually most of these people will live to be unemployed, or maybe they'll not be successful. So about the express highway, I want also to comment to give an upload there to Uhuru's legacy, because it's a good one. It's only that the Kenyans can't see the benefit of it. Also, other parts of the country we can see. I was in Diwa, Miriam, and I was shocked, Miriam. That would be the worst place. I mean, Miriam, the whole place is tarmacked. The whole place is tarmacked. I mean, it's a rural area, but the whole place, you just the drive was very smooth. There was nowhere whereby we had a problem. So I want to say about the infrastructure. Also commend our president. He has done a great job. And Miriam, to be honest, we are going to remember our president, Uhuru Kenyatta.
All right. Okay. Thank you. But yes, indeed, the expressway, Kenyans have had so much to say about it. So, but still, I'm shocked that a lot of them are using it anyways, despite of complaints, especially about the amount of money that is being charged as the toll fee. That has not kept Kenyans. We will complain, but we'll still use it. I guess that is just our nature, right? We will complain, we will make noise, but we'll still support it. Yeah, so we've seen a record number of Kenyans using the expressway. And I think that was that was interesting because a lot of people thought that that's too much. Who will be paying for that? Maybe a few people from the airport and all that, or somebody rushing not to, they're late and they want to catch their flight on time. But a lot of Kenyans who are using the Mombasa Road are using it. But yesterday, I think I was on Mombasa Road, a part of it, and I saw those flowers. I don't know if I even like those things. I don't know whose idea that was, you know. They've cheapened the look of the whole thing. There are those lovely flowers, I think, is it Mlolongo around, the ones that, I kind of like those because I think it's even easier to water those. But these ones on you've seen them. They've even dried up. Yeah, nobody's watering them, so they make the road look not very nice. And maybe some Kenyans are thinking that perhaps they don't want people to place posters and all that. But Izo Maua, the dried ones, they cheapen the whole thing, and it's a beautiful infrastructure. I don't know if those flowers were necessary, especially those ones before you get to the ones that starts in town, before you get to Mulolongo, the ones on I don't know what you call those, but yes. But there are those in Mulolongo that are nice. Mm-hmm.
Miriam, also let me talk about the ones in town, and also most as you head to Langata. On the day of installation, those flowers were really nice. The green, I mean, it was. You could see a different version of town. It looked beautiful, but I also need to add the government that because this project actually, Miriam, I'm sure that so much money was involved in it because it's a national project. So I mean, that is money. We are watching money go to drain because these flowers should not dry up. There should be people. Now that is why they should be creating jobs. There should be people employed to water those flowers. Because at the end of it all, because the idea was, I don't know what the idea was for them to have the flowers, but maybe one was because of the beauty. Because that could be the main actual agenda.
Those ones at Mulolongo, I think they're placed is like they're in flower pots of some sort. Those ones look really beautiful. I think along Mlolongo, they're about. And Syokimau, I think when you go farther into Mombasa Road, those looks very nice. But these ones on the, what do you call this? I don't like the sight of those things. And yesterday they were dried up and nobody cares about them anymore. So do we really have to have them there? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Most are dried up, and that's why I'm saying, no, these actually should be a job creation opportunity for the youths.
But is it sustainable, really? Is it sustainable?
Well, I'm not sure if it is, because if they needed the city to be beautiful, they could have put the ones maybe in a vessel. They looked nice, it was easy for them to water. But now these ones, and you can see the way they are kept, I don't think they will last longer. They'll just keep on drying.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it was an experiment gone wrong. I don't like them at all, really. I do not. But those ones on flower pots, when you're just almost approaching or past the airport, I think those ones look very nice because I think it's easy even to take care of them. They in pots. But these other ones, hapana, that's a bad idea. They should just take them off the road. They're so ugly. Yeah, they're so ugly, and they just cheapen the look of the whole beautiful infrastructure. It does not make any sense at all. I don't know. Maybe it was just an experiment gone bad. Let's keep those ones that are lovely, and let's get rid of these other ones. I don't think it's necessary. But anyway, I don't know. The person who was doing it, I don't know what they had in mind. Doc, if you're there, we have been waiting for you.
Yes, I'm here now. I can broadcast live. Are you hearing me live?
Yes.
You hear me now? I'm around and I was reorganizing and checking because this being our first show outside broadcasting, I wanted to find out when I can go outside and broadcast live like this. Yes, Miriam, you were talking about the decorations in the city of
Yes,
Nairobi.
those
Are
dead
you?
flowers. I don't know how you like them, because I don't.
So, first of all, I'm not very comfortable. The ones that they have put on
Yes, the beams that are holding
on
the
the
roads. I
road.
don't know if I could call them beams. I don't have the exact name. I'm not an engineer, but yes,
I think they are going to be stolen.
maybe they should be. I don't know. I don't. They.
They are going to be stolen. I mean, Africa, we still have a very big problem, and let's accept this thing is going to be stolen. So don't even waste your time to
They
speak
have no. They
about
have
it.
no
That is not a
use. They have no use
yeah,
on
they
that
will
road.
steal them.
Maybe we need somebody to just come clear
Yeah,
them up. But they will be short because
let's
that will be
be
economic
let's be
sabotage.
very honest. Let's be very honest. When Kibaki did the roads, Kibaki did the roads,
Just
and
do the
Miriam,
roads.
you remember the roads had signposts.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the signpost today, when you reach Kisumu, there is a signpost showing you it is being used for charcoal, the stove, charcoal stove. And somebody like a Ruto buys maize there on the charcoal stove with written Kisumu later. You can see it, you, on the charcoal. So let's be very honest. You can condemn the government, but condemn yourself also for breaking the law and destroying some of these things. So maybe they are put there. They don't want to waste a lot of money. That's why they are put there the cheap things that you are not happy with. They will
Just,
be
just,
stolen
just
anyway.
build the roads and let the flowers be. I mean, the road is beautiful,
Stolen.
but the dead flowers just cheapen the whole look.
What has annoyed me, what I'm not very comfortable with is those
Okay, we're getting you in and out. We're
from
having
I don't know what you're talking
Doc,
about.
Doc,
Power.
your
There is power.
connection is not very good. So we just
Okay.
it's cutting off. So maybe just give your, as we conclude the show, perhaps your final comments on you know,
Final
President
comments, then
Kenyatta's legacy.
give your final comment.
Let me give a final comment, Miriam, then I hand over to Doc. As I've said, that we're going to regret so much with the choice of government that you want to install coming August. And I always say it will either do us good, it will either do us the good, or either harm us for the next years to come, Miriam. Because currently, as we are voting, it's not about casting a vote. It's about casting a vote knowing that you're voting for the person who's going to restore back our economy to where to the better place we want it to be. As you're voting, you're also voting for that person who will not bring chaos. I mean, who will not be tribal in our country. As you're also voting, you're also looking for that person, Miriam, who will also look into the agendas of the youths, who will create more employment for the people. Currently, Miriam, so many people are very idle. Others are actually seeking for jobs. We've got graduates outside here. We've got people with masters and even with PhDs.
Okay,
Who still out there searching for jobs? Yeah, the people who are out also, we are voting for a better country, Miriam. I submit.
okay. Thank you so much. So,
Let me make my submissions.
okay.
The
Do you
people of
need
Machakos.
time? Or you just fine like
No,
that?
I'm okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
The people of Machakos, we shall be coming back again tomorrow or the other day, starting from Monday. We shall be in so many counties, and you will see us taking notes. We are tactically trying to find out for Azimio how many votes can come out and how many people are comfortable. What are the complaints? What are infrastructure? What do you want the legacy to be completed within the 2 months. What do you want from the government of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta? Those are the views that we are collecting. We are on a research mission. And tomorrow my sister will go to another market somewhere, another place somewhere, maybe in Kiambu, maybe in Nyeri. She will be on a mission to collect that data. What projects have been completed? I thank you very much, all of you, for watching the Outside Broadcasting Mission, OBU, unit of Punchline Africa TV, always the only one online telling the truth about Africa. Thank you very much, Emilia. I'm in the studios. Thank you. There might have been inconveniences, but being our first day, we shall correct most of the mistakes that we shall see, especially when it comes to the internet, because some of them, Mutua says he has put good internet, but we don't see it. He took money for internet that everywhere in Machakos town there will be internet, but I don't see any internet. We have to use our own boost-up stations. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless all of you in the studio, the production team, all of us, the engineers, the satellite people from Johannesburg, those who are bringing us to our Berlin contacts. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless Africa. Thank you. Ciao. This station, therefore, is for Africa, with Africa, by Africa. Back to you, Miriam.
All right. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.